Thanks, John, and thanks to GovLoop for the opportunity to speak with you all today. As mentioned, my name is Dan Hopkins, and I'm the VP of Public Sector and Applied AI at Eightfold AI. I'm incredibly grateful to speak with you today about such an important topic, a topic that doesn't just address improving government hiring, but a topic that also moves the needle on DE&I, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. In many ways, today's federal hiring process are undergoing the most change and innovation they have seen in the last 30 years. Chief Human Capital Officers are faced with new executive orders, such as Executive Order 13932, that prioritizes skills and experiential learning over traditional education sources for many federal jobs. And additionally, Executive Order 14035 that brings DE&I front and center into federal hiring and within the federal workforce. Combined with the many new process and product technologies, evolving hiring requirements, and shifting policy priorities, now is the perfect opportunity to leverage new technologies, such as artificial intelligence, to create a more thoughtful, more responsive, and more equitable federal hiring platform. There are a number of artificial intelligence use cases for good that make it a compelling imperative to improve federal hiring, attract top and diverse talent, and ultimately dramatically improve our government's mandate and mission. I'd like to first start by introducing you to Eightfold. As a Silicon Valley software company, we were founded with the audacious goal of providing the right opportunity for everybody in the world. This vision drives our products, it amplifies our values, and represents our company culture. And we are well on our way to advance this mission. Today, many large enterprise businesses, governments, and agencies trust our artificial intelligence to effectuate many of their talent needs and outcomes. Whether it's helping talent acquisition to instantly identify qualified candidates for open roles, or enabling talent managers to surface organizational skill sets and capabilities, conduct workforce planning, and provide thoughtful career development, these organizations rely on Eightfold for their daily workforce needs. Additionally, we help state and federal governments enable employment by assisting their displaced workers find rapid, meaningful, and family-sustaining employment and upskill or reskill to be job ready for career demands of today and tomorrow. Through the use of our patent technologies, we built the world's first talent intelligence platform powered by artificial intelligence that provides both deep insights on the actual requirements of an open role and a greater understanding and explanation of the skills, capabilities, and potential of each job candidate to consider for any open role. Our approach and platform isn't just unique in the scope and outcomes it creates, it's protected by critical patents that match capabilities and skills to roles. Additionally, by taking a diversity-first approach to ensure bias mitigation and the thoughtful creation of all of our algorithms, our patents support diversity in hiring and guard against unconscious bias through sophisticated anonymization techniques. Finally, beyond having some of the biggest brands as our customers, we are proud that the market recognizes both our growth and value by making us the most well-capitalized in our space, raising over $410 million from some of the most marquee investors. When we created Eightfold, we recognized from the very beginning that the talent and job discovery process today is fundamentally broken and inefficient. If you think of job and candidate seeking as two sides of the same coin, you realize very quickly that tremendous inefficiencies exist in matching the job seeker to the right opportunity and an opportunity to the right job seeker. What essentially is a search, discovery, and matching problem is compounded when we recognize that the primary matching mechanisms for job seekers and employers are job descriptions and resumes. Yet job descriptions are a poor articulation of need, and resumes are a poor articulation of a candidate's skills and potential. Let's take job descriptions first. Job descriptions are notoriously vaguely worded. For example, what does it mean exactly to be a team player or be results-oriented? Worse, we also ask potential applicants to self-assess their own abilities against those vaguely worded job descriptions. We assume that job seekers will interpret our job descriptions correctly and properly assess their own candidacy. but yet are surprised when most job seekers end up applying to the wrong job. Can we blame them? Problematic as that might sound, today's process is also subject to real-world self-selection bias. For example, Harvard did a study on why women don't apply for positions unless they feel like they have met a majority of those vaguely worded job requirements. Embarrassingly so for us male candidates, we tend to apply to anything, holding ourselves to a much lower threshold. But this creates real-world disparities in the pipelines of candidates to consider, and thus we end up with more of the same. Why didn't we consider a female candidate for this role? How many times have we heard the excuse, well, we looked and we didn't find any? I'd argue that the first problem to creating a more diverse workforce is because our job descriptions don't properly convey the work we require and don't give the job seeker the right information to properly self-assess their candidacy, especially when you consider any self-selection bias that they may bring to their own assessment. Matching with artificial intelligence can eliminate this challenge. From an employer's perspective, resumes also don't provide much value in conveying a candidate's skills or potential as it relates to the open role. Unless a hiring manager or recruiter have intimate knowledge of a particular company and a particular position within that company, they are either relying upon their best assessment or taking the candidate at face value at what they claim they know. This, of course, is problematic, not only because individuals may not know how to properly articulate their skills and capabilities, but because it also means that employers are predominantly only considering candidates that have done that role before. What about the candidates that have the actual requisite skills? Or candidates that are on a career trajectory to do the role in which we're hiring for? The sad reality is they rarely get surfaced for consideration. Artificial intelligence provides a unique opportunity to optimize this two-sided network of job seekers and employers. To solve the search, discovery, contextual, and rationalization challenges that face the job market of today, we need to do better. And this is exactly the problem domain we have set out to solve. Using artificial intelligence to first provide clarity of what employers are looking for, and then understand the capabilities of candidates as it relates to those roles, provides an opportunity to instantly match job applicants to the best and open positions. We've trained our neural network off of billions of data points to understand skills as they relate to a specific role in a specific company, within a specific industry and geography, regardless of seniority. We have then mapped all the adjacent skill sets to gain a deeper understanding of capabilities. For example, if someone knows skill A, might they also know skill B? Or could they learn skill C, and to what velocity? Combined with a deep understanding of career trajectories, both vertically and horizontally, allows us, for the first time ever, to consider a candidate based on their potential. This is incredibly valuable, not just because it means we're casting a greater net for qualified candidates than we currently can, because it means that we're now able to consider candidates who today may not have ever had the opportunity to be considered. What better way to break the status quo and give the big break to qualified candidates than to go beyond their resume and historical job titles and fairly consider them based on their skills, capabilities, and potential. We further hyper-contextualize our AI through anonymized learning from our customers and publicly available data that enables unparalleled outcomes, such as fit to role, learnability, and potential. And these insights get even better with time because of the self-learning nature of AI. This means that agencies can now use artificial intelligence to optimize their recruiting efforts, uncover more robust and complete insights about a candidate's fit to a role, surface a greater understanding of skills that exist within their agency, and gain valuable insights about the capabilities, about what capabilities can be nurtured internally, guiding upskilling and reskilling initiatives within the organization. Agencies can leverage artificial intelligence to not only reduce the overall time and cost to hire, but to truly incorporate and advance DEI&A into the hiring process. Pre-pandemic, the average time to hire across the federal government was almost 100 days, a number I suspect that has only gone up since the Great Resignation. In some more technical roles, the average time to hire exceeds 365 days. How can government expect to attract top talent when a job applicant has to wait so long to get hired? It used to be that if you wanted to build rockets, the only place you could do that was NASA. These days, however, SpaceX or Blue Origin can not only pay you more, but they can likely hire you in weeks, if not days. We can do better. It's a fundamental imperative that we improve the hiring process to align closer with the private sector if we hope to attract and retain top and qualified talent. Artificial intelligence not only removes the friction from a job seeker to easily identify and apply to the right role for them, it can help agencies better assess each candidate's capabilities to the requirements of each role, and thereby attract new and more diverse candidates. Additionally, AI gives agencies the ability to source from their previous applicants. Most federal agencies get thousands or even hundreds of thousands of applicants each year. If most people apply to the wrong job, why wouldn't we want to instantly rediscover them for the right role? Yet today we rarely do so, and we reinvent the wheel each time we have a new opening by posting a job rec and waiting for new candidates to apply. Artificial intelligence can ensure that qualified candidates who are mission-driven and previously expressed interest are constantly evaluated for any role in which they may be a fit, and then re-engage them to apply. Finally, artificial intelligence can help agencies facilitate a deeper understanding of existing skills and their abilities to develop and nurture those skills internally, assess mission readiness, conduct succession planning, and offer relevant career development. The impact on diversity should be obvious. When you consider a candidate for what they can do versus what they have done before in the past, when you can enable that candidate the ability to effortlessly surface the right job for them and reduce the overall time to offer, and you guard against some of the unconscious bias that may exist by the human reviewer, you create a more diverse pool of candidates that are empowered with new opportunities and advancements. For job seekers, AI provides a better application process, instantly matching their unique profile to best fit opportunities instead of relying upon keyword searches, which, by the way, presupposes that a job seeker knows what they're looking for. If I go to usajobs.gov, for example, and type in customer service as a keyword, what about all the other jobs that I might be qualified for? Well, I never get a chance to consider them. And this is the problem with keyword-driven matches. It constrains the job seeker and doesn't factor in what we really care about. Can they actually do the job, and which job do we prefer that they actually apply to? By using artificial intelligence to evolve from keyword searches and move to profile-based searches, we can contextualize the job search for candidates for providing jobs relevant to them and their capabilities. Artificial intelligence can help verify and infer potential skill sets by providing a more robust and complete profile when considering each candidate for any open role. Synthesized with all dimensions of their profile, including past civilian and military experience, preferences, and career aspirations, this not only unlocks a more complete capabilities metrics of the individual, it enables purpose and creates compelling self-service options that lead to better engagement and applicant relevancy. And this is really win-win, because by surfacing only relevant job opportunities to the applicant versus a list of all jobs, applicants have a clearer line of sight to the opportunities that they have the best chance at securing. And agencies have more qualified candidates that they actually want to consider for those roles. Now that we understand the potential use cases for AI, I really want to double click on the cases for incorporating AI into the hiring process, of which I think there are 5 core themes that I want you to consider from this presentation. The first is that AI can provide a much better understanding of skills, roles, locations, and the success criteria for the roles in which you're trying to fill. Skills are constantly evolving. The half-life for technical skills are less than 5 years, and static skill ontologies fail to keep up with this evolution. Worse, we define the requirements of our jobs alone from when we define the requirements of our jobs alone from existing skill ontologies, we rely on incomplete data. Further, these roles evolve very quickly, so a skill that may have been required at the time a static ontology was built has likely changed. With artificial intelligence, we can look at the data in real time to understand what skills are needed, in what context, and be assured that they represent the true and suitable skill needs at the time we require them. Additionally, artificial intelligence allows us to map adjacencies of skill sets so that we better understand nearest neighbor skills, build competencies, uncover locations of those skills, and rationalize our workforce planning needs. Second, artificial intelligence gives us downstream visibility into the impact of our job requirements on a potential population of applicants. Today, when we craft a job description, we do so without having proper insight into the correlation between an added skill requirement and the impact that skill requirement might have in reducing the candidate pool, or worse, the disparate impact it might have in reducing a diverse applicant pool. By defining our role requirements in artificial intelligence, we gain a better understanding of population diversity distribution based on the selected requirements. We also understand the likelihood of filling that role quickly and guidance to broaden the role requirements while staying precise, enabling us to make adjustments before the job is ever posted. Third, and I've talked about this a lot today, is the ability for AI to consider potential in ways that were just not possible previously. Artificial intelligence alone creates personalized predictive models that improves the overall quality of matching for each individual based on skills, capabilities, and their potential. When you look beyond a job title or specific skill set in a candidate's resume, you gain the ability to consider more candidates and more diverse candidates, as I mentioned, who can perform the work you require, but just need a chance to be considered. And I believe this speaks directly to the heart of both Executive Orders 13932 and 14035, where the former emphasizes a greater consideration of candidates' skill sets and the latter the need to incorporate greater diversity into the federal workforce. When you are able to evaluate candidates based on what they can do versus what they have done, you begin to really move the needle on the spirit of these two important initiatives. Fourth, AI allows for matching to be done at scale. Today, many arbitrary filters exist that may not give candidates a fair consideration for the role in which they applied. Artificial intelligence is well equipped to ensure that all candidates have a chance to be evaluated for all roles with explainability, speed, and scale. Large data sets improves overall accuracy and reduces noise and bias in the process, something that AI can only consistently learns and improves over time. Additionally, this dramatically increases the pipeline of relevant candidates with full transparency into matching. And finally, as we also talk so much about today, AI can advance diversity, not encumber it. By properly designing algorithms to suppress gender, race, ethnicity, disabilities, etc., from any consideration and instead focus on skills, career trajectories, and potential, you rise up capable candidates to be considered in ways they simply previously were not considered. Artificial intelligence can also guard against any unconscious bias that a human-in-the-loop reviewer may bring into the evaluation of candidates. For example, a candidate's name may trigger unconscious or conscious bias, but AI technologies can mask candidate profiles, obfuscating any personal identifiable information from the human reviewer. Masking profiles are instrumental in reducing bias during the screening process and help ensure that advancement decisions are made on the merits of the candidate alone. Finally, because AI offers such a wealth of data, actionable dashboards and reports can track the entire recruiting process, ensuring that bias is not creeping in to the hiring process and offering prescriptive opportunities to address even offline processes. Of course, all AI systems are not created equally, so I'd like to leave you today with our perspective on the responsible use of artificial intelligence within the hiring process. First, we believe in the responsible use of AI. For this reason, we discourage the use of biometric data, sentiment analysis, or the use of AI to automate decision process, such as assessing a candidate in, say, an interview process. Any AI deployed for use to help advance government hiring and DEI initiatives must consider accountability by design. That AI systems must be deployed with safeguards from the very start to ensure equitable and fair outcomes that mitigate bias and advance greater diversity. And this begins with ensuring large and representative data sets. Data trained on cross-sectional data ensures greater accuracy and robustness that help identify and mitigate potential biases when analyzed across different demographic groups. We believe that AI's use should be explainable. Today, the ultimate black box in HR is often the head of a hiring manager or recruiter. AI offers the ability to offer explainable data in conjunction with human-based decisions that help explain why a candidate was advanced or not for a particular role. And this underscores perhaps the most important takeaway is that the use of AI, I believe, should help augment human decision makers, not replace them. By helping recruiters overcome blind spots and diversify their outreach, we help the recruiter or hiring manager make the most responsible decision and not attempt to automate the hiring decision. When you design AI systems to assist humans make better decisions instead of replace them, you're able to improve the hiring process and make true impact on the advancement of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility across the federal government. And this is the opportunity before us to embrace AI technologies to create a more agile and responsive employment platform and create a better government that is more responsible and effective to all of our citizens. I want to thank you again for the opportunity to speak with you today. I hope you found the presentation valuable. For more information, feel free to reach out to me directly. My email is listed on this slide here. John, back over to you.